with the podcast, I'm curious how you would think about this if you were us, right? So we have this show. Mm-hmm. We grow based on guests. We have found, though, that people end up buying things from us that listen to our show, even though we are not the authority figure here. We are lobbing you up softball questions to then extract awesome value, right?
Dude, not hot. These are hard-hitting questions.
Great questions, but you know what I'm saying? Our audience, like we are doing this also, it's selfishly, I'm learning a ton right today. Yeah. Our audience is then getting this awesome value. They're learning a ton from you. If you were us, do you feel like we should be focusing on another channel in addition to this podcast? Because people end up getting our products from the show. But I personally find that like, I'm not here to talk. I'm here to extract and learn, right? And I'm wondering like, if you were us, do you think we focus a ton on Instagram? Because we do focus a ton on Instagram, but we're thinking about like really hammering into this second channel and diving more into our learnings and the things that have helped us a ton growing these businesses.
And what's also interesting is we had a conversation with someone, I want to say a few weeks ago, and we had just started this second channel. And then they gave us the advice to like, not really focus on that and kind of just keep the main thing with the podcast. And then it reminded me of what you said of like, you kind of have to take advice from certain people with a grain of salt. And when we stepped back after the conversation, we were like, well, his business model is different than ours. Yeah. So I don't know if the advice that he gave us is maybe the best, but that's why we wanted to ask you.
Because I think this is like, in my eyes, Podland is you monetize from sponsorships, you monetize from you can sell digital products off it. I just don't think the percentages are so much different in terms of if it was our own YouTube channel. Because again, they're coming for Gary Vee or they're coming for this other person. They're coming for you. Like, yes, do we have a percentage? Of course. But it's so different than a traditional like YouTube channel. So I think that a lot of the people find us from Instagram and they're like, oh, I like this person. And they dive in like, oh shit, they have a pod. Like, let me go check out their pod. So it's a very interesting business model. It's almost like the number one networking tool ever on top of, you know, this other stuff. So it's interesting to think through for us.
So I know I had originally when I got going on YouTube, I tried a lot of different things. I viewed my YouTube as almost like a variety show where I would like try a solo thing, try a vlog thing, try an interview thing. Like just kind of follow, like just went by the seat of my pants, you know, like I had no idea what I was doing. And I did quite a bit of interviewing, Chris Doe, Dan Martell, Sam Ovens, Hormozy, Layla Hormozy, yada, yada, right? And from more just doing the thing, which is really a key here, right? Is like just trying stuff. I realized that, you know, I don't really like traveling to these things and it's kind of more about them really than it is about me, which is fine. But like, I'm doing this also to, you know, I got things to say and I got brands I'm building and I'd rather it be a little tilted in my vibe versus like just traveling to Vegas to go and meet someone and then it all being about them. And I leave it going, I wonder the business impact there. Because again, I really believe in building profitable personal brands. Because I think that if you're trying to do something for the long term, there has to be like monetization behind it, not just even to fill your pockets, but that you can get a team around you to, again, get your time back. So I say that just to say like, that's my background. So I've been through these sort of problems and questions and all that stuff, right? The first principle I would say with this is like Jeff Bezos talks about one-way doors or two-way doors, right? And I think when we approach this question, it's understanding it's a two-way door. One-way doors are things like getting married, right? It's really hard to get out of that, right? You got to kind of make that decision carefully, right? At least that's what I hear. I'm not married, but apparently scholars say you should be careful. So on the other side, there's things like what you just brought up, right? Oh, do we start a second channel or do we put it on our main channel and do we try this new thing? It's like, that's a two-way door. Like, and to your friend or the person you were listening to, right? It's like the thing that, I think they're also not indexing is like, you seem rather energized around it, right? And energy is kind of the ultimate like fuel for a founder, right? Like it's not time in your day. It's like, if I'm fucking fired up over something, time's not a thing. I will just do the damn thing because I'm so stoked on it.
And that's so funny you bring that up because one of the things he told us was like, dude, that's probably, even if you are only spending 7 or 15% of your week on this second channel, he's like, that is still time you're allocating to this other thing where that you could be focusing on like just the podcast. And I'm like, yeah, but like we're having fun filming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And same with
Yeah,
this.
what does it cost you after this? If you got
Yeah.
a bunch of insights, you're like, okay, Matt's gone. Cool. Sit down for a second.
Yes.
What was your main insight?
Yes.
My main
So-
insight was like the psychology of building a personal brand.
Yes.
It's like, okay, rip it for fucking 15 minutes.
Mhm.
That's not actually your time. Like
Yeah.
he's ordering Uber
Yeah.
Eats, he's setting the table, you're fucking filming with this guy over here. And like, there's no time wasted, you
Yeah,
know? And that's
yeah,
again,
yeah.
like, not to overdo it, but like, there can be a system to it. Like that
Mhm.
just like, okay, so the challenge is like, we don't have much time, but we want to do this.
Mhm.
What's just the most simple, low weight
Yeah.
way we get started with this before over investing? And like what I just said was like a way that's like a joke. You know,
Mhm.
the set's already
Yes.
here, the light's there, the camera
Yeah.
guy's there,
Boom.
the insights in the brain is firing. You got your neurogum, rip it. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of that, right? And so like, getting back to then this two-way door idea, right? It's like you have really then two options with it. It's pretty simple. One option is that you try doing solo episodes on the main channel, right? 'Cause
Which
you're like,
we do every 8 weeks. You
okay,
know?
great.
Yeah.
And how do those go?
They go good. The viewership is definitely lower, but I mean, I'd say there's anywhere from like 7,000 people will tune into them
Yeah.
across.
So that's my instinct when I did a lot of research around this way back. Like this research is old now, but I think it still stands. I think, you know, you look at Ali Abdaal has a main channel and then Deep Dive has a second channel,
Sure.
you know, and there's a lot of other patterns of that. Right. And so I then kind of made the distinction that it's like one channel it's not about one format, but it's like one core intention someone coming to, right? So they're coming to the main channel you guys have because they're watching interviews and looking to chill and just watch an authentic conversation that's an hour and a half long,
Mhm.
right? Your average watch time on that's 20 minutes long or whatever the heck it is, right? And that's that channel. So yes, it makes sense to maybe want to start a second channel, which is these more solo ones. And I would give it its own like kind of brand, its own creative direction. Doesn't have to be overboard, but just like its own thing.
Mhm.
And then in its own angle and why now is someone going to watch this versus the 1,000 other YouTube channels, right? Like what's your angle, right? Is it you're going to walk down the street out there in, you know, LA and there's a gimbal and it's like just like a walking 10-minute rip and that's it, right? And that's the whole kind of like format and channel thing, right? So you get going on this second channel around that sort of intent. And I think it, like I was saying earlier, right? Like you give it a hurdle rate, both energetically
Mm.
and like business wise, right? So, okay, we are going to check in. It's, 4 months from now on June 30th. Number one, are we excited by this, right? Are we having fun? Okay. If we're having like over 8 out of 10 fun, that's a good signal. Second thing is, are we driving like either kind of inadvertently or directly 2 sales per month that it's making us 15 grand a month, right? And maybe that's even a sponsor or something else. But if it's making over 15 grand per month, we feel like it effectively diversifies the brand a bit. It lets people know actually who we are versus who just Matt, Gary Vee, Al Hormozi, whoever our guests are. So that's good. And the third thing is like, did it hit maybe a subscriber count or a view count or an engagement count, some sort of maybe thing that's like, yeah, there's enough, like we're doing a good job driving like attention off this thing. And that's how I would look at it, right? And just also be okay with like, it can be a failed experiment, right? Like you can pull the plug on it. Who gives a shit, right? So maybe even the hurdle rate's way shorter. It's like, let's just try this for 60 days. And if we like it and it's a vibe and it kind of moves a little bit, we'll do it. And if afterwards we're like, there's nothing here, then just stop. And that's no harm, no foul, right? The same way that in 2 months, maybe I stop using OpenClaw. That's not a fucking issue. That's just like, what went down? I was just playing around with it because I was playing around with it and just had an instinct that maybe it was worth trying.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I think it is worth something that we explore because it was energizing and it was fun and there were solid numbers behind them.
Yeah, I also think that we just didn't do it. We haven't done it long enough. And I'm very bullish on me and Braden being able to build a second channel. I think we just need
To
like,
keep
put
going. Yeah.
time and energy.
Well, I think
into
there's
it.
something too, like, a reference would be Colin and Samir, who have their main Colin and Samir channel, but then they have their creator support channel.
Yes.
I always like for step one when I'm doing these things like on a brand level is like find references, right? Not to steal, not to copy, but like it's good to have references because generally like we're not inventing anything new, right? These things exist. And then you can use the reference to like understand like how they think about like the brand system behind it, how they think about the monetization of these things, right? And so when you look at their main channel, they're interviewing people, they're doing that. There's very limited sale of their info product on there. It's mostly run by sponsorships, at least from my understanding.
Yeah.
And then maybe they may plug like their biannual conference thing they do there. On the creator support one, they more push the throttle on their info product. And so that's just like an example of a reference. And so, when you're talking to me then, we want to start a second channel, and I'm just kind of like corroborating it with that reference. It's like, makes sense. I could see how that would help. I could also see too, like over time, how it may decrease your dependence from this product, having to push the info product from this, and being able to have like, hey, if you want to hang with us and see our strategies on things, learn from us and get this thing. Cause it's literally, again, the logical next step. Whereas on this, it's just a little bit trickier.
Totally.
It's not to say it's not a great next step. It is a great next step, it sounds like, right? But it's just not as logical, right?
Correct.
On this, the logical next step is really probably no next step other than liking and subscribing,
Coming back.
and just watching and coming back so that you can get more brand sponsorships and raise the dollar amount there, which is subtle and chill and very organic and how people are used to in this format. So it doesn't feel jarring or salesy. It will increase the growth rate, increase the subscriber rate, increase the revenue rate of this thing. Whereas that other channel can be more pure play to the info thing.
Yeah, 100%.
That's it. That's the exact way that I think we thought about it. It's so nice and refreshing to hear that